Hi everyone, my name is Angela and this is going to be my fall TBR. Now, is it 75 degrees out? Yes. Is it still August? Yes. But to me, fall starts at the beginning of September, no matter how hot it is in the Midwest, so I am going to read as if it is fall. But I have a big pile of books that I have been saving for fall, and I want to share those with you and also hopefully keep myself accountable and actually reach for these during the fall. So first I'm going to show you the physical books that I have, and then I'm going to talk about books on my Kindle or books that I want to read as audiobooks. I know Halloween is still a bit ways away, but I want to talk about 3 books that I've kind of been saving for like around Halloween time. Starting off with some classics, we have Dracula by Bram Stoker. This book is absolutely gorgeous. I don't really know what this is going to be about other than a vampire named Dracula. I think maybe he has some wives that he mistreats, and I'm just hoping that I will love it. But yeah, I'm really going into this knowing not very much. Next is a haunted house classic that a lot of people really love, and that's The Haunting of Hill House. This was 100% a book that I just bought because it's so beautiful. It's literally orange and black. It's perfect for Halloween, so I'm hoping to time this to read this like right around Halloween. And then since I'm more of a romance reader than a horror reader, I have Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match by Sally Thorne. Sally Thorne wrote The Hating Game, which I loved and thought was just a fun, silly, good time, and I think this is about Dr. Frankenstein's sister like making a boyfriend. And I think it's just going to be silly and fun, and hopefully I will enjoy this. So not specific to Halloween anymore, but next up we have Inferno by Dante, and I believe this is just a journey through hell written in verse, so I hope I love it. Next up is Murder Your Employer by Rupert Holmes. This is a beautiful book, and this is one of those quirky murder mysteries that kind of does something different in the genre. Basically, it's a school for murderers. That's all I really know about it. And I'm looking forward to it because I haven't read a murder mystery in a while. Then we have Small Angels by Lauren Owen, and I got this 2 years ago in August from Book of the Month, and all I know about this is I think it's going to be magical realism with some horror. There's these sisters that live by this creepy / magical forest. There's a wedding. There might be a sapphic romance as well. I do not remember, but I have been saving this one for autumn. I didn't get to it last year, and I will be so sad if I fail again and don't read this. Another book that I've had for so long that it's embarrassing is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I'm not really sure why I saved this for fall. I think it's about art. But something about it just makes me hope that maybe it's dark academia adjacent. Probably just because of The Secret History, but I'm really hoping that I get to this one, because if I don't, I'm probably gonna unhaul it because I have had this for like 3 years now. I didn't really give you a synopsis, but I think it's about a boy who like finds a painting. I don't know. The New York Times likes it, so maybe I will too. Next is a reread. It is Anne of Avonlea. I think this one specifically like has some really nice fall scenes. I read the graphic novel adaptation of the first book last year, and I read this series a long time ago, so I don't really want to read the first book again, so I might start rereading it with the second one. Maybe I'll read this when I'm scared from all the horror books. Next we have some fantasy books. We have The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I don't know what this is about. I'm just being real with you. I have had this on my Goodreads like want to read list for like many years, like from the time when I only had like 30 books on the list. This book is so popular and ubiquitous that I just added it to my list. And from the cover, I get the feeling that it's going to be atmospheric. I don't know that it's going to be like autumnal, but I really hope so. And the rating on Goodreads is crazy high. So if I don't like this, I'm gonna be pissed. And then probably the book that I'm the most like intimidated by and excited for and terrified that I won't love is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. Susanna Clarke gives off like genius vibes. I've read Piranesi from her, and I just think she's kind of a genius. So I have heard this described as like picture like a Dickens classic, but there's magic, and to me that sounds like the perfect book. So no pressure. And then last up for the physical books is North and South. This is another one where it's not necessarily autumnal, but I feel like I've been saving it for something and I can't figure it out. So fall seems like as good a time as any to read this book. And I have actually watched the adaptation of this, but I don't really remember anything. I think this book has to do with like industrialization in England and labor and maybe some romance. So now moving on to the books that I don't own, we have The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This is a murder mystery and I feel like it's more of a summary murder mystery, so I might read this one at the very beginning of September. It's also the Literally Dead book club pick for September or October, I think. So definitely want to get to that one. It has a 4.3 average rating on Goodreads, which is really high for a mystery thriller. So I have high hopes for that one. I believe it takes place at like a summer camp and people go missing. Next we have The Silence Factory by Bridget Collins. I think this is magical realism and horror. It takes place on an island. I think maybe there's going to be some sort of experimentation going on, and I really don't want to know more than that. I have really high expectations for this one and I'm really scared of being let down. Next we have Graveyard Shift by ML Rio. I think everyone who loved If We Were Villains is excited for this. I have it on my Kindle already and it's coming out in September. All I know is that it's a short horror mystery novella that takes place in a graveyard, and I think some characters from different walks of life are going to be kind of coming together to solve a mystery or something like that. And then an audiobook that I'd really like to read from Hoopla is The Witch Would Not by Olivia Atwater, who's the author of Half a Soul. And this book takes place in the same world as Half a Soul. Goodreads says it is a dark fairy tale set in a magical version of Victorian England, and that sounds perfect for fall and also perfect for me. And last but not least is Fang Fiction by Kate Stayman London. This is like a paranormal romance where the main female character discovers that the world of her favorite fantasy series is real and vampires are real, and I think she has to like save the main character, and she's gonna like fall in love with this vampire guy. It seems very silly and creative, and hopefully it will be really fun. I will definitely be reading books other than this in September, October, and November, but these are the books that I specifically have been saving for fall, and I hope to get to a lot of these, but I will inevitably mood read other random things. Let me know what books you're going to be reading for fall, and if you got to the end of this video, thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely week, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more bookish content from me.